Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. It's Tuesday, July 1st. South Padre Island city leaders are inviting the public to a workshop regarding the SPI Convention Center expansion project. The meeting is set for 3 p.m. tomorrow at South Padre Island City Hall. Preliminary designs released last year show plans to expand the convention center by 50,000 square feet. During a meeting last month, Cameron County commissioners voted to deny the expansion request after receiving hundreds of public comments from residents and visitors, most of them voicing concern over potential elimination of a natural habitat for native and migratory birds. Attendees can give their feedback on the proposed expansion. Updated designs for the project will also be shared at tomorrow's meeting. A peaceful protest was held yesterday at Texas A&M Kingsville after news spread of a recent operation by federal agents on campus last week. The demonstration, led by students and community members, came in response to a presence of federal enforcement officers at the campus. According to students, agents detained 26 workers involved in cleanup and construction efforts at the campus student union building, a facility still under repair following a recent fire. In response to the protest, A&M Kingsville issued a statement reaffirming its commitment to free expression and campus safety. The Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority is rolling out a new look for its fleet of buses. They unveiled 8 new compressed natural gas-operated buses, part of its system-wide transformation and ongoing effort to enhance the rider experience. CCRTA will soon introduce 7 35-foot buses and 6 27-foot cutaway vans into their system. 8 more 35-foot buses, funded through a competitive FTA grant awarded last year, will begin service this fall. KEDT's Civic Threads series examines city government and protocol in Texas. One prominent civic thread follows the role of the port commissioner. Joe Michael speaks with Barbara Canales about the details.
Civic Threads is a series showing city government in practice. One of the civic threads we follow is to the Corpus Christi Port Commissioner. A port commissioner serves without pay for a maximum of 4 3-year terms. Port Commissioner Barbara Canales explains the particulars.
So the first thing to know is that it is a quasi, if you will, political subdivision of the state of Texas. And what that means is that we're not elected. We are an appointed body, and the appointments come 3 from the city of Corpus Christi, 3 from Nueces County, and recent legislation, as in the last 30 years, brought us a 1 position from San Patricio County. So the 7 members make up the Port of Corpus Christi. We all carry the title commissioner. We serve staggered terms for 3 years, and we take an oath to the Port of Corpus Christi, and of course to the state constitution, to the laws of this state, and to, of course, the United States. And we follow the Open Meetings Act, which means that our meetings are open and transparent. We publish agendas, and the staff, hired professional staff, which we, as a port commission, hire the top executives, and then those executives hire the rest of the working body of the Port of Corpus Christi.
A port commissioner considers port-related inputs and outputs when forming strategy for meeting future challenges.
We have a global economy. We are the number 1 export liquids port in the United States for crude oil. Now, this is very important because it means a lot of economic significance. But you know what? We're also a strategic military port, which means that load-ins of equipment, heavy equipment, will often be seen coming in to our lay-down yards by Whataburger Field and then taken out by ship to our locations around the world. So we carry really important significance strategically from an energy position, but also from an agricultural position. The Port Authority a long time ago was king of the cotton, right, business. And so our port started off being really about cotton and grain, and it morphed or transitioned into oil when oil became king. And now I might argue that while oil is still king, at least in this export port, we're starting to see a lot of transition into other important fields. For example, we do a lot of wind turbine business. We do a lot of important work in the new field of energy, liquefied natural gas and liquefied petroleum gases. So it's not just oil, But of course, as I said, we are still holding that number one position, which is quite impressive for a community of our size relative to the rest of the United States.
From cotton to oil to wind turbines and liquefied gas, the Corpus Christi port reflects what South Texas has experienced in terms of economic growth and technological changes. For Civic Threads, this is Joe Smikle, KEDT News.
The U.S. Coast Guard has suspended the search for 2 swimmers at South Padre Island. Officials said their response came back with needing more information to continue the search, and they believe it may have been a false alarm. Authorities said on Monday the swimmers were believed to be in the water near beach access marker 8 when they disappeared at around 6:45 p.m. Corpus Christi Parks and Rec has installed markers on the beach at the Michael J Ellis seawall to restrict vehicle access from the south end to mile marker 217.5, which is located just south of the Wyndham Hotel. This measure was implemented due to natural beach erosion and addressed public safety concerns. However, pedestrian access to the beach remains open. Local and state regulations regarding natural resources and conservation allow the city to restrict vehicle access to the area in front of the seawall if the beach width is less than 100 feet from the mean high tide line to the base of the seawall. The area will remain closed to vehicle access until the beach width is restored above 150 feet. For more information on Gulf beaches, call 361-885-3469 or visit ccparkandrec.com. In state news, a Dallas judge has thrown out the Texas Attorney General's lawsuit over the state fair's gun ban. As KERA's Toluwani Osibamowo reports, the fair says it plans to keep that policy in place this year.
State law prohibits governments from banning firearms on most government-owned property. Dallas and the state fair say the latter is a private nonprofit and therefore is not bound by that law. Jeff Tillotson is an attorney for Dallas.
The city believes that this is really an issue about private property. We lease the property to a private entity, the State Fair of Texas, and just like you have with respect to your home, they have the right to do what they want with respect to guests.
Meanwhile, Ken Paxton argues Dallas officials effectively enacted the ban through fair officials, but that argument has been rejected. I'm Toluwani Osibamowo in Dallas.
A North Texas semi-truck driver is in custody after state officials say he fell asleep at the wheel and caused a pileup. As KERA's Penelope Rivera reports, the crash killed at least 5 people and injured several others.
Alexis Gonzalez Campagnoni has been charged with 5 counts of manslaughter and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He was driving westbound on Interstate 20 in Kaufman County when his semi crashed into a truck carrying 5 people. That car was then pushed into 2 other 18-wheelers, one of which jackknifed from the impact and struck 3 other cars. 5 people died at the scene. At least 2 others were transported to a Dallas hospital in critical condition. It's not yet clear how many people were injured from the crash. I'm Penelope Rivera in Fort Worth.
The North Texas Wildlife Center in Plano has 60 days to find a new home. KERA's Catherine Hobbs explains.
The city says the nonprofit, long known for rescuing injured and orphaned wild animals, is violating residential zoning laws. The center operates out of a converted home, and it's currently caring for about 200 animals, including owls, opossums, and turtles. City officials cite concerns about increased foot traffic, but they've granted 60 days instead of the typical 13 for the organization to relocate. The center has launched a fundraiser and is urgently seeking donated land or facilities in Plano, Lake Highlands, or Richardson. Without community support, the fate of both the animals and the center remains uncertain. I'm Catherine Hobbs in Dallas.
Victoria's 4th of July Blastoff, a day full of fun, food, family, and fireworks, will happen from 3 to 10 p.m. Friday at the Victoria Community Center at 2905 East North Street. Festivities include food trucks and inflatables. Live music and entertainment will be performed by Trey Gilland, Pat Matula and the Lone Star Playboys, Chris Zuber Band, and Rewind Texas. The night caps off with an epic fireworks show at sundown. Get ready to see Brownsville from New Heights. The Gladys Porter Zoo will unveil the Soaring Eagle zipline on July 9th. The attraction offers an exhilarating ride 130 feet above one of the city's most iconic destinations. The zipline will give riders a bird's eye view as they soar above lush landscapes, animal exhibits, and even catch a glimpse of the Brownsville skyline. The ride includes full safety features such as secure harnesses and certified operators. The addition of the zipline marks another major step in the zoo's ongoing revitalization efforts and its role as a cornerstone of tourism and recreation in the Rio Grande Valley. And in Mission, the police department introduced its newest and furriest officer yesterday. Milo is a trained emotional support dog who is now part of the Mission Police Department's Canine Unit. The poodle completed police training and excels in communication, emotional support, and de-escalation scenarios. He is the first emotional support dog for the department. He was donated to the department by the Rick Brown Funeral Home. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. If you missed any stories from today, you can always re-listen to today's and previous episodes of South Texas Midday, plus our Community Focus series wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.